Hey guys, Andy here with Precision, and today we have another new accessory for the Benelli M4. Again, awesome shotgun. However, because of when I purchased this, basically nothing else was in stock. I actually really wanted the skeletonized stock. Come to find out, the ones from the factory, seems like lately anyway, have not actually been adjustable. It's literally just skeletonized. And when we get into this, I'll show you why that is. I'm lucky enough, if I had one of those stocks, mine would be adjustable, but again, we'll talk about that in a minute. The other one is that it's kind of hard to find one right now that has an actual pistol grip that is just a fixed stock. So, long story short, I knew that I was going to be wanting to swap this out. I actually kind of want to design a whole new one. However, for the time being, just to be able to get out and shoot this thing and get a little bit more comfortable with it, I picked up one of these. This is the Mesa Tactical Urbino pistol grip stock system. It's not adjustable other than the cheek riser here. But it does come with a limb saver pad, which I'll be honest, this one, just when you shoulder it, it's not that comfortable. It is a 12 gauge shotgun. I know it's not going to necessarily be quote unquote fun to shoot for extended periods of time. However, this is just one that I've kind of wanted. I wanted the pistol grip. I'm going to keep this stock here just in case I do want to swap back for whatever reason. Stick around. We're going to open this up and I'll show you guys what all comes with it. All right, guys. So again, this is the Mesa Urbino pistol grip stock system. Seems like a great kit so far. I just slid it out of the sheath here and looking inside the box. So looking at this first thing, obviously the stock itself with the pistol grip actually feels kind of pretty comfortable. Comparing the length of pull, it is quite a bit shorter. I believe they said 12.5 inches length of pull. So yeah, it does get a little bit shorter, but obviously if you're wearing body armor, you got to bulk your coat, something like that on. Should actually help you out quite a bit. Along with that, obviously got the limb saver. I'm not going to drop that in yet, just because I want to make sure that everything gets on and I don't need access into the back of this stock first. The cheek riser. So this looks like it should probably slip on here fairly easily. Probably expand out. Yeah, it does just get held in there with friction, so not the end of the world. Looks like I do have to kind of push this apart, but we'll deal with that later. A little packet here looks like some rings and maybe some sling mount. See, there's a plastic ring sling mount, got a bolt or a screw, a couple extra little pieces here. Hey, we actually have instructions. Read through that, make sure that we're doing this the right way, and ever so pretty little sticker to add to the collection. So all right guys, so I just pushed everything off to the side here. First thing we're going to do is obviously make sure the gun's clear. There you go. Next thing we have to do is actually remove the trigger assembly. As you can see, the trigger assembly actually is not only right below the receiver, but it also is interlocked with the receiver, or the stock here. So that'll come in important in just a second here. In order to remove this, all we got to do, pull out the charging handle, push down on the receiver, or the retention pin there, pull that out, whole trigger comes out. Super easy. Putting it back in is a little bit more difficult, but you get the hang of it. So, believe it or not, as awesome as this shotgun is, it is extremely simple to take apart. Literally all you do is you untwist the stock. So as this gets untwisted here, we'll see what actually retains it in the stock here. There's actually threads on the recoil tube that actually hold the stock on. So this receiver tube, I was kind of alluding to it earlier, I believe. The ones you see with the skeletonized stocks, those can be either fixed or fully extended, fully retracted. What really determines that is not the stock itself, but this recoil tube. So this recoil tube that I have on here is actually, this is a 3-position, meaning I believe it's actually these notches here. I've got one there, there, and there that that's what the stock actually locks into. So if for whatever reason I decide that I do want to go to a one of the Benelli style collapsible stocks, I can do that later. So I thought that was kind of weird, because the ones that you actually buy from Benelli that have the skeletonized stocks, I was told, are not coming with these specific ones anymore. However, the one that has I call a standard shotgun stock, are coming with it. Like I said, these are not cheap. I think the cheapest one I found was $250 just for the tube. For the recoil assembly, the spring and everything that's inside of there, that's going for about $450 right now, bare minimum on what I was finding on Gunbroker. So kind of surprised to see that. All right, guys, so the next step with this, which is kind of odd, but it does make sense after looking at everything, is on the Benelli M4s, you do need to reinstall the trigger group before you install the stock. So I know it sounds kind of counterintuitive. However, this little lug that is on the back of this trigger group here that normally indexes into the factory stock does not index into the Mesa Tactical stock. It does. There is a little recess right here of where that lug is going to fit. So all we're going to do is drop this bad boy back in here. And in all honesty, really doesn't hurt my feelings any, because I'll be honest, trying to align and index the factory stock into this and then drop this in is kind of a pain in the ass. You can do it. It's not the end of the world, but again, you know, if you can make things a little bit simpler, why not? There we go. All right, so the trigger is back in there now. With this, it did come with a few different options as far as sling plate connectors. What this does is these different plates here, there's obviously a slot, there's just a single hole, and then there is a plastic blank off plate. And what I think I'm going to do, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to select this one here, just so I could put a single point or something on there. All I'm going to do is just kind of line this up. It does just pop in there. It's held in there by friction. Now the other thing, and I already slid it in there off camera, but this little plate here acts just like the Benelli style sling that goes on the side of the stock. Now if you have a full-size sling that goes all the way over your back, this is a lot more comfortable trying to hold the shotgun on you. However, it's not really required. That is something that Benelli does not have, is just a standard style sling mount that you'd see on more traditional shotguns, which I thought was kind of odd, but it is what it is. It's not your traditional style shotgun. So but anyway, the Mesa Tactical does have that. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're just going to take this plate, drop it in there, and then align it here on the end. Whoops. So this plate, there is see that middle hole is kind of offset. This plate is actually retained by the recoil tube. So what we're going to do is make sure that the hole is on the top side of the stock here. Just like that. Push it through. Kind of line it up because it is a hollow stock. Try to get it lined up the best that we can to begin with. And then I'm just going to take the shotgun here, drop it all into place. There we go. Now again, this is not the stock style retention system, so we're not twisting this one on. Instead, what we actually have is a plate, washer, and large spring here. Okay, it's just a straight bladed or a straight slotted screw, a washer that is actually cupped on the side, and this side actually has some texture to it. This side is smooth. This actually goes in case you can't see that on the camera, and then just a retention plate. All right, so what the instructions are telling us is this plate goes on first, and you can see again this hole is kind of offset on one side. They're saying that the top, or that this center hole here needs to be towards the top of the stock. So we're going to do, and it's kind of hard of course to show you guys on camera, but I'll do my best. So you guys can see there is a hole there, hopefully, maybe. Let me actually pull this off, I'll show you. So in the back of this tube, that's actually threaded. We're going to use it for actually retaining the stock onto the shotgun. So again, we're just going to slide this back on here, hopefully without smashing my fingers. it does feel a little bit loose right now, but I'm fully expecting that to tighten up here in just a second. We're going to take this plate, we're going to set that on top of here first. We're going to take this washer, and again, we're going to have the textured side, which is the side that is coming out towards you. We're going to have that facing up, and then this screw is going to go right through the middle of it. So I find it's usually a little bit easier to assemble everything and then drop it all in there all at once. Now, if you've got a vise, it might be a little bit easier to do it that way, or somebody to help you hold this, but since I'm doing it all by my lonesome, I'm just going to make this work. Get it on there, probably lose the screw once or twice. It looks like I've actually got some room where I can drop that in there. Just let gravity help me for a second. There we go. Take this and screw it in now. Again, I'm not using Loctite on any of this. I don't feel like there's really a whole lot of need at this point. I can already feel that getting significantly tighter up here as far as fitment is concerned, right at the receiver. And so now I'm just going to snug this up. There we go. And it looks like the stock is actually on there. So, oh yeah, that feels a lot better. But again, we're not even done yet. So what we're going to do now, before I put the butt pad on, the actual limb saver, I think I'm going to try and adjust the cheek riser here so that it's a little bit more comfortable. So this cheek riser here is actually, if you look, there are little grooves that are in the side here that they're not angled, they're not sloped or anything like that. Hopefully you guys can actually see those. What is going to happen is those grooves actually get indexed on this rail here, and on the back side there's another rail here as well. So what we're going to do is we are going to take this and just slide it on there. Essentially everything is really just held in there by friction. Not necessarily a bad thing. I'll be honest, it wasn't what I was expecting, but I don't think it's really going to be a major issue either. So just to start off with, I'm going to try it on the highest setting, just like that. And then, yeah, so like right there, that is way too high. I can't even see the red dot. So I'm going to lower this down quite a bit here. Ideally, what I want to be able to do is still be able to use my ghost rings. So just for the hell of it, I'm going to try looking down. Yeah, and that's way too low. So let's try maybe the second notch on this and see where that gets us. If I can get it wedged open here. There's that second one. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. That's still maybe a little high, but at the same time that rises up nice. I got quick acquisition on the red dot, so I think that's probably where we're going to leave it for the time being. Seeing as how everything is just put in there with friction, really not that worried about it. I know I can come back at any time and adjust that. The limb saver actually has little wings on it, and apparently those wings are what actually retain the cheek riser. So we're done. That's it. So just looking at this, I mean, oh yeah, that's 10 times more comfortable. And in all honesty, I'm not even done yet. I've been looking. I'm trying to still decide on what kind of forend I want to put on it. I know as of right now, it's between the Mesa Tactical and the Briley. Both look awesome. Both are made out of aluminum, but just haven't made up my mind yet on which one I want to go to. Again, super easy install. If I wasn't recording, it'd take me maybe 10 minutes to install it. So I think money well spent. Again, super comfortable. I've now got a single point sling mount if I ever wanted to use that. Nice and solid, completely adjustable depending on the optics. I'm sure if I were to leave the other video that I showed you guys where we actually took the rail off, if I left the rail on and maybe put a, you know, an MRO or something on the top of this, the higher cheek levels probably would have been a lot better for that. However, with what I'm doing, I mean, that's her. So thanks guys for tuning in. If you guys have any questions, as always, feel free to comment below. If you guys like what you're seeing, let me know. If there's something else that you guys want to see, let me know. If you guys are getting some value out of this, we're not going away anytime soon. So please subscribe. That really helps out the channel. It doesn't cost you guys anything, but really helps us out on our end. So anyway, appreciate it again, guys. As always, we'll talk to you guys later.